The Lord is thy shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I Rasta, I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Unu prepare a table before I, in the presence of our enemy them. Unu anointed I head with unu oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy, I go follow I all the days of I Ivan. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God, Jah, my way. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. And remember, here we are not neutral, never. And we have never claimed to be. We have taken sides, the side of the truth. That is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. We are live on Facebook, also live on YouTube. You can also find us on TikTok, where we are ticking and talking with the time of patriotism. Remember, we are also on Instagram, my brother, my sister. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, and here we speak truth to power. Please share the broadcast. Hit on the notification button. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's time for you to subscribe so that anytime we are on, you would be notified to watch us. Today we are starting quite late. Please share the broadcast so many more people can be part of this. Today we have some really interesting stories to share with you. And you don't want your best friend to be left out of this. You don't want your family to be left out of this. Please do me a favor. Share the broadcast right now and let everybody be part of this. Like the broadcaster and at the same time comment, because we'll be taking your comments pretty soon. In the interim, permit me to introduce myself. Well, my name, Black Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes and sizes, aromas and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot, where they are subjected to some good amount of heating. At the end of the day, they produce sumptuous food in all its palatability for the nourishment of the family. That is what we do here exactly. What do we do? We pick up ideas from all walks of life. And then we subject these ideas to some forensic scrutiny and pick up the creme de la creme of all these wonderful ideas and use that for the development of our people, our continent, our land. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And my name one more time, Black Rasta. I'm most excited to be with you. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Give us some information and we will follow up on every little information you bring to us. And of course, anonymously, we shall keep your name shrouded in secrecy. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Today we have 3 very interesting stories exclusive to us. And you're going to enjoy that. It's one of the reasons we're starting the show late. Investigations left, right, and center to be able to bring you nothing but the whole crust of the truth in its rawest form. My name is Black Rasta one more time. Story number 1. Watch this, my youth. Disgusting video. U.S. police ignored, watched while Ghanaian died in front of them. By now, all of us have heard about the Ghanaian by name Kingsley Fifi Bimpong. Born late 1974. My brother, my sister, at Aguna Swedru. He went to school at Swedru Secondary School, and also at Adisadel College. Whilst coming up, he wanted to do something with mathematics. His father was a very great man, in fact, an MP during the days of Jerry John Rawlings. After the elections in 1992, he became an MP for the Aguna area there. My brother, my sister, he was simply called J.O.B. John Oscar Bimpong. Now, this man here was born in April 1946. And he was a lecturer at the Cape Coast University. My brother, my sister, a very wonderful son of the land, John Oscar Bimpong. He represented his people in Parliament after he left academia, where he taught English language, mathematics, and even statistics. So our man for today, Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, wanted to be like his father. He honestly wanted to be a mathematician. So when he went to school, he studied mathematics. Yes, this is the man we're talking about. He studied mathematics just like his father, also studied statistics. And he even taught some people around him mathematics and statistics. He wanted to be a great thinker. He wanted to be a politician like his father, like many children want to take after their father. Now, after some time, he decided that he had to move to the United States of America. And he got the opportunity to do so. First, he landed in Chicago, where he was hustling. In fact, the very first year he arrived in Chicago, working very hard and hustling, he was so excited about how much money he had made by coming to America. He posted his bank statement right there on Facebook. My brother, my sister, how much did he make? Watch it. Bank of America, the account holder, Kingsley, he withdrew $200 and he had $55,777 American dollars left. He was so excited. Convert that into Ghana cedis and you would see why he had a reason to be very, very excited. In order to be able to live in America, he hooked up with an American woman. And then they got married and they had a child. Oh, yes. Then after some time, the marriage broke down and he came to Ghana to get married to another woman. Oh, yes. One gift mensa. They got married after several years of staying in America. And he didn't hide his affection and love for this lady called Gift Mensa. He posted a lot of these, in fact, very, very affectionate photographs. He grew dreadlocks because he believed in the Pan-African idea. And of course, he followed it from left, right, and center. He loved the Pan-African dream and ideology. This is him and Gifty Mensa. They had a very good time. Now, once in a while, he would travel all the way to Ghana, and he was a man who loved to chill. In videos, you would see him chilling with his friends, like in this one. That's him wearing his red shirt. And of course, his dreadlocks flying left, right, and center. This was one of the very last visits he had to the motherland, Ghana. And here he was having a very good time. My brother, my sister, and the table alone tells you how much they enjoyed and chilled. This is Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, living the American dream. He became a postmaster in Minnesota after he moved from Chicago. And the American dream was on. He made money. He had a wife. He had a child who he named after his father, simply called J. And remember, his father was called John. And many people just called him J. He lived the American dream. He had a very good life. Then on the 16th, oh my God, have mercy, of November 2024, we are told he had a bad headache while at work and decided that he would take the day off. Whilst he was on his way home, my brother, my sister, little did he know that this was going to be his end. He suffered a certain kind of stroke, which got him confused, and he drove into oncoming vehicles. Instead of driving on the other side, he drove headlong into cars that were approaching him. And the police quickly had to come in and stop him, as you can see in the footages here. The first question they asked him, "What is your name?" He said, "I don't know." He had a stroke. He was confused. Number two, "Where do you live?" He said, "I don't know." And the police instantly thought or felt that he was driving under the influence of drugs. So what did they do? They brought in an expert. In America, they call them the DRE. Yes, drug recognition expert. And this drug recognition expert came on the scene. He was called Jensen. Jensen, he is an expert, my brother, my sister, and he came on the spot. And when he arrived on the spot, this is the man we're talking about. He decided to do the test on the gentleman, Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, to find out if he was actually driving under the influence of drugs. Now, after about 30 minutes or less of going through whatever it was, this man here made the biggest racist mistake ever in the history of an American police officer dealing with a Ghanaian. What happened? He said, "This man is under the influence, whatever it is. We've not been able to complete it, but it is obvious that it's under the influence of drugs. To spend another 30 minutes to 35 minutes on this man would be a bunch of time wasting." Listen to that attentively. An expert has been brought in, DRE, right? Yes, drug recognition expert. Police called him in, and you can see Jensen written on his shirt. When he arrived, the two police officers who had apprehended or accosted Kingsley stood by and allowed him to do his work. After they started checking whatever was wrong with the man, about 30 minutes later, he said, "Listen, to complete this, we need another 30 to 35 minutes, and it will be a bunch of time wasting. This man is obviously on drugs. Take him away." So the two police officers asked this man, called Jensen, "You are the expert. What do you say? Should we take him to the hospital?" And this racist said, "For what? He's obviously on drugs." So they carried him to the police, and look at the video. You have never seen this video anywhere. And we are showing you that. Watch that. They are carrying him. He's entering the police station. And look at how they carried him. Now they took him in. Look at the man who is going to receive him. He's wearing gloves to protect his identity. Look at Kingsley. He's falling down. And he's peed on himself. Now the stroke has hit him harder. He should have been taken to the police station. And, I beg your pardon, to the hospital, but they took him to the police station. And police officers stood by and watched. Some police officers even said he was okay. There was no problem with him. 5 hours in police custody. Right after that, he started foaming in the mouth. And there you see him, police officers trying to give him some kind of resuscitation, pumping aerosol spray into his mouth, whatever it is called, my brother, my sister. And when they realized that, no, it was more than just dangerous, they had to take him to the hospital. See what happens here. And that is most nauseating. My brother, my sister, whoever was supposed to check on him said he was okay. Now look at him on the hospital bed, the stretcher that they are taking to the hospital. They had to still handcuff him. Even with the stroke, they handcuffed him. And look at the man lying down, cannot even move. When they arrived at the hospital, they were told that he was brain dead. When a man is brain dead, it is almost impossible to bring him back to life. American police has murdered and killed yet another black man, an African, a Ghanaian, who went to America to live the American dream. A postmaster, he worked legally for his money. On holidays, he made it to Ghana in order to be able to share the little cake he made in Minnesota with his family. He wanted to be a politician. Once in a while, he commented on Ghanaian politics. There was a time an election was coming on, and look at what he put out. This was May 12, 2021. And what did he say? Ghana needs Robin Hood to steal from the rich and give it to the poor. He will be the next president. Do you understand? Robin Hood was a thief, but he stole from the rich and gave to the poor. And here, sarcastically, Kingsley Bimpong on his Facebook page has made it clear that Ghana is actually voting a thief into power who will steal from the people. My brother, my sister, he made so many other posts. In fact, one of his posts actually idolized his mother. And the mother is called Mama Rose Bimpong. An Nkrumahist, a very powerful Nkrumahist who transcended into the NDC with her husband. She is still alive. My brother, my sister, but her husband, J.O.B., John Oscar Bimpong, who was born in 1946. My brother, my sister, Wikipedia is not able to tell us whether he's alive or dead. But I can tell you on authority that this man died far away in 2005. And there he is. My brother, my sister, he says, it's been 14 long years since Dad died. And in his own words, he says, it's been 14 long years, Dad still miss you like yesterday. Rest in peace, J.O.B. And J.O.B. stands for John Oscar Bimpong. 14 solid years, 2005. My brother, my sister, he died. Today, my brother, my sister, the American police is hot. The whole world is on the case of the racist American police that stood and watched right from the DRE, the drug recognition expert Jensen, all the way to the two other policemen who ignored all the signs of stroke and watched while the Ghanaian wriggled in pain and finally lost his life in an American cell. My brother, my sister, on the bare floor. And there, the arrows point at American police hiding behind the door, watching the man wriggling in pain. Wriggling in pain. The word is wriggling in pain while they watched him. And he finally passed on. So many newspapers published this. The Independent have this to say. All the way from America, it made the headline news. And today, as it stands, the whole of America is coming to the reality of the assassination, racist assassination of a Ghanaian. This is the Independent, and it says a postal worker died from a massive stroke while police and jail staff ignored him for hours. Now they face a federal lawsuit. Oh yes, there's a lawsuit. There's a lawsuit. And the lawsuit, in fact, has been filed by the wife of Kingsley, and her name is Gifty Mensah, alongside her sister. But look at what they said. Officers reportedly watched as Kingsley Fifi Bimpong writhed in pain around in a pool of his own urine on the floor of a jail cell until he was cold to the touch. Now, the family of a U.S. postal worker who died from a massive stroke after his symptoms were ignored by police and jail staff for over 5 hours have filed a federal lawsuit against Minnesota authorities. Officers reportedly watched as Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, read it, around in a pool of his own urine on the floor of a jail cell until he was cold to the touch and foaming at the mouth, the suit obtained by the independent claims. Bimpong was stopped by police on November 16 after driving the wrong way down a road and striking a curb with his vehicle. He had just left the Egan Post Distribution Center after complaining of a headache. No proper examinations were conducted to determine if the 50-year-old was suffering from a medical emergency or a drug overdose, the lawsuits claim. Now, the suit names Egan police officers Joseph Mossing, these are the police officers, Martin Jensen, and Liam Oshia, multiple Dakota County correctional officers and Dakota County itself. My brother, my sister. Now, according to the lawsuit, upon his arrest, Bimpong appeared very confused and could not answer questions, including what his name was, what city he was in, or who the current president was, and demonstrated an inability to follow simple directions. He could also not say where he worked, despite still wearing his UPS vest. Officers noted at the time that there was no smell of alcohol or other evidence of drug abuse. In addition, Jensen, who was a specially trained drug recognition evaluator. So you see that, Jensen, a specially trained drug recognition evaluator, was called to assess whether Bimpong was under the influence of drugs or suffering a medical emergency. And what did he say? And what did he say? The lawsuit alleges that Jensen did not complete his assessment properly or fully and allowed Bimpong to be taken to the Egan police station instead of for medical treatment. He was arrested for DWI. And what does this mean to say DWI? Driving with intoxication. Driving with intoxication. That's what they said. Now, body cam audio allegedly captured Jensen saying that a full DRE exam around 30 to 45 minutes would be a whole bunch of time wasted. And when asked by another officer if Bimpong should be taken to the hospital, he responds, for what? Dash it away. This is a really sad story. Come here. Very sad story. DRE, drug recognition expert, is called on. Jensen comes on and says that, you know what, it will be a waste of time to spend 30 to 35 minutes, 45 minutes, even up to an hour, trying to assess if this man is on drugs or not. It is obvious he is on drugs. And police officers said, oh, really? But they still went ahead to ask because they doubted, should we take him to the hospital? And Jensen said, for what? So they took him to the jailhouse, and there, whilst he was writhing in pain, wriggling in pain, what happened? They watched him and thought he was doing gymnastics. He died. Whilst they were even carrying him onto the stretcher, they handcuffed him with red or pink handcuffs, like a criminal, the criminal that he is. And this is for a driving offense. Driving offense, not murder, not suicide bombing, driving offense. The man is allowed to swim in his own urine, wriggle in pain, writhes in pain. And when they carried him to the hospital, he died. Now, this is the punchline now. After he died, they did a post-mortem, and the police were smiling, waiting to be told that the man was on drugs. And when they looked in his body, not even a little bit of alcohol was in his blood. No drugs, no alcohol. He was charged for the wrongly reason, DWI, driving with intoxication. Today, the family has sued. The family wants 120 million American dollars. You know why the family is angry? The family one is angry that Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, who was the sole breadwinner of the family, anytime he came home from Minnesota, there was a party all over the area. Family and friends all came around. Schoolmates all came around. In fact, in school, they called him Mugu or Philippi. That was his nickname, Mugu. My brother, my sister, when he died, they couldn't even raise money to bury him properly. You know what they did? A GoFundMe. You know what that means? Asking people to donate money online so they could buy a befitting coffin and bury him. And watch this. They needed 30,000 American dollars. At the time of going to press, they were only able to get 2,534. When would they reach 3,000? And look at the story they put online. It's with deep sorrow that we share the devastating news of the passing of Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, aka Mugu or Filippo, whose untimely death occurred on Tuesday, November 19. It actually happened on November 16. According to officers, 2024 in St. Paul, Minnesota, USA. Kingsley worked for the U.S. Postal Service Egan NDC plant as a ninth expeditor. He was 50 years old. He was from Aguna Swedro in the central region of Ghana. He attended Swedro Secondary School, the SWESCO, and at Decided College, Cape Coast. He stayed in Chicago, Illinois, and later moved to Minnesota. We gave you all this information, right? Now, this unexpected loss comes with unexpected expenses. His family is facing immense challenges during this difficult time and needs both financial and emotional support. We are reaching out with heavy hearts to ask for your help to cover the funeral and other expenses. My brother, dash it away. A man who led life well, who had an American citizenship, residence permit, worked properly with an American institution. My brother, my sister, driving into the wrong lane. Nobody was hurt. They handcuffed him and treated him like a criminal. He lost his life because of the racist nature of the American police. But the police itself, what did they say about what they did? What was the press release from the police? What did they say? And look at it. Egan Police for immediate release. And this is October 10. How many days ago? 3 days ago. Friday, my brother, my sister. Watch this. City of Egan statement on November 2024 incident involving Mr. Kingsley Bimpong. Egan, Minnesota. On November 16, I remember we corrected that. We told you November 16, not 19. As is being peddled around. On November 16, 2024, an Egan police officer observed a vehicle traveling the wrong way into oncoming traffic. The driver, later identified as Kingsley Bimpong, was stopped by officers out of concern for his safety and that of others on the road. Now, during the traffic stop, Mr. Bimpong was asked and denied having any medical conditions that could explain his erratic behavior. Mr. Bimpong appeared to be impaired, but did not display signs of a serious medical emergency. An officer trained as a drug recognition evaluator responded to the scene. DREs are not emergency medical responders, not medical professionals. Their evaluations are designed to determine whether an individual may be under the influence of drugs or alcohol, not to diagnose medical conditions. Now, due to Mr. Bimpong's apparent intoxication, he was arrested on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. Officers summoned M-Health paramedics who observed Mr. Bimpong for approximately 17 minutes before he was transported to the Dakota County Jail. Hours after Egan officer departed, it was discovered that Mr. Bimpong tragically suffered a fatal stroke. Now the city of Egan extends its deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of Mr. Bimpong. Wow. Wow. Because this matter involves pending litigation, the city will respond to the allegations through the United States District Court and will not be providing further comment at this time. It's in court, so we don't talk. But my brother, they are telling you that the DRE, the drug recognition expert or the drug recognition evaluator that they brought, that these people are not necessarily medical people, but they are trained to be able to tell via the symptoms that this person could be on drugs. But if you have a person like that to evaluate somebody's medical condition, and he has misdiagnosed and directed them to send him to jail rather than the hospital, what else do you have to say? Except to say that another innocent soul has been assassinated on the soil of America. The family is crying. I placed a call to the family. Nobody wants to talk to me. Everybody is crying. He's left behind 2 children. My brother, my sister, Aguna Swedro is mourning. So many people knew Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, a.k.a. Mugu, a.k.a. Filippo. He wanted to be a statistician. He wanted to be a mathematician. In fact, he wanted to be a politician like his own father. He comes from a fairly large family. His mother celebrated yet another beautiful anniversary a few years back, and the whole family came together to celebrate her. And there you can see the family, and Fifi is not part of this, obviously, in the United States of America. Here you see grandchildren and also some members of the family, her children. Mama Rose Bimpong. Today, Kingsley has been buried already. They were never able to raise the 30,000 needed. And the sad news is this. The family was refused visa to go to America to mourn the death of their child. What they probably wanted was for him to be flown down to Ghana to be buried so everything will be covered. Thankfully, they succeeded in burying him in America. And the invitation notice came out. Where he was buried, it was a full Christian activity. The whole thing was painted yellow because his favorite color was yellow, as you can see in this photograph. My brother, my sister, the Baptist church was there. Some other faiths, Christian faiths, were there. And he was buried in January this year, 2025, right there in Minnesota, in America. It took lawyers to stand firm and fight, in fact, and have some sort of visas given out for 1 or 2 members of the family to go in there and look at the face of their own child, their son, their uncle, their brother, before he was interred. As I tell you this story, my heart is broken. The American dream could sometimes be a disaster. Another humble soul, hard-working soul, Rasta man. I was told that he used to listen to Blakk Rasta like crazy. He would listen to me on radio. He loved a lot of the things I said on radio. He loved my opinions. And he used to tell his friends, if we could have 2 of Blakk Rastas in Ghana, it would be a different place and we all don't need to go to America anymore. There were some other media personalities that he loved. And when you go on his Facebook page, you will see Gianna Caxos Das. You will see Kevin Taylor. Of course, he comes from the side of the NDC, the Nkrumahs, you know, that kind of vibe. So it's not surprising he would love people like Kevin Taylor, my brother, my sister, who has been vehemently supporting the NDC and fighting against his own party, the NPP. Today, we will not see this brother again. He is gone. There's a photo of him and his little son holding this little son, my brother, my sister, and he says, my son, I will be with you forever. But today, that promise has been broken. Jay is not going to see his father anymore. They had a child, a female called Vivian, will not also see the father anymore. The wife, Gift Mensa, won't see the father, the husband anymore. Neither would the mother, Mama Rose Bimpo, see the son anymore. The American dream is over. My name is Blakk Rasta, and we will follow up on the suit. When the family is ready to talk to us, we would send our cameras there and film whatever events it is. For now, my condolences to the family, and I say, Mugu, Filippo, Damrifa Due, Damrifa Due, ni amane hono. Kai, minu beko, minu beko. Asama ndu so ya mpo. Akameko akojao. Hey! Hey! Woyo! Kobu!
Blackpot, Kukushonama.
It's a Blackpot, aka Kukushonamo. And here we speak truth to power. Remember to send in your comments. Remember to share the broadcast. Hit on the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, it's time to do that. Our numbers are also scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. And because of you, we are #1 in the whole country of Ghana, the whole subcontinent of West Africa, and of course, the whole of Africa when it comes to current affairs. We bring you original stories, deeply investigated, dispassionately. My brother, my sister, with no fear of favor. It's all about patriotism, no politics. This is the Blackpot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. Thank you for making us #1. We are the headquarters of the truth. The truth lives here. Oh, yes. Right now, we're moving on to the second story. Story number 2. Watch this. Why Ghana's king of fraud may never be jailed. Who is Ghana's king of fraud? Do you know him? Have you seen him before? They call him Dr. Sledge. That is him. I want to believe that he has been inspired by Akablemeza. Akablemeza was an Nzima businessman who made a lot of money. He loved to puff cigar and he loved to drink choice drinks. He lived in absolute largesse. He behaved like a bourgeoisie. Akablemeza. He was the one who deceived John Jerry Rawlings and made him sign a whole diplomatic passport for him, deceiving the man that there was so much money in the Swiss account that belonged to Ghana and was deposited there by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who was a kingsman of this man here called Akablemeza. They called it the Oman Ghana Trust. Later they changed the name to Oman Ghana Fufro Trust. He was close to Kwame Nkrumah, according to him. And when Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown, there was so much money he had. And out of desperation, he decided to leave all the money in a Swiss bank account. Akablemeza lived big and grew his pot belly on this fallacy and lie. Rawlings at the time believed in him. So, governments gave him diplomatic passports. And as a diplomat of the Republic of Ghana, he stood on that pedestal and duped many more people, including government officials of the United States of America, millions of American dollars. He drove in Lincolns. He had servants on the streets of New York, both black and white, sometimes even carrying him in palanquins whilst he poured libation and sipped on some choice drinks like Hennessy. My brother, my sister, he smoked the biggest cigar, and when he laughed, the laughter came from the bottom of his belly, from the large intestines, gutturally. He had power that was stronger than the tsunami. This is Akablemeza, the most feared. There are so many stories about him, how he swindled some of the wisest officials of the world using simple tricks. He was not a businessman, he was a thief. But he paraded himself as a businessman. When Jerry John Rawlings realized that, and how many of us know Jerry John Rawlings? Put up his photograph so we all would see this man. I'm glad you are seeing him in his camouflage. He was a soldier man, no nonsense man. In 1979, he took power through a coup d'etat. Came into power. 2 years later, he came back, removing a legally elected president, Hillary Mann, and taking over power again, sat on the seat for so long before he left. He was the longest serving ruler Ghana ever had. A no-nonsense ruler who was so angry that Akablemeza had deceived him about a certain amount of money in an American fund or Swiss fund, wherever it was. And he lured Akablemeza into coming to Ghana. And he arrested him, collected the diplomatic passport and threw him under house arrest. He remained under house arrest and died like a common criminal, the common criminal that he was. At a point he was so sick and he needed to travel out of the country for treatment. But Jerry John Rawlings said, no, I don't trust this criminal. I would only trust his dead body. That's if doctors can tell me that he's truly dead. But people like Kwesi Pratt, who attended the funeral, even though they saw the coffin, it was said that the coffin was closed and nobody was actually allowed to come and look into the coffin, into the face of Akablemeza, because they said the body had deteriorated in one way or the other. For Kwesi Pratt, it was another way of shrouding the man in secrecy. And up till now, he doesn't believe that Akablemeza is dead until he sees the dead body himself. He was a man full of tricks. It looks like we have never had a successor to Akablemeza, but now we have one. His name is Nana Yaoduodu, a.k.a. Dr. Sledge. Hey, we started hearing about this man in 2018 when he attended a SHÂCKING event at the Dome, the Fantasy Dome. And though SHÂCKING asked for 100,000 Ghana cedis for his album, the first copy, The Rain, he gave out 150,000. He added 50% more money, saying that SHÂCKING was more deserving of that. We saw him with Sarkodie all over the place, throwing money like Blakk. He drove in the fastest cars. In fact, cars that were not even produced yet. He had a way of getting them from the manufacturer before they came out. And I'm speaking tongue in cheek. My brother, my sister, Dr. Sledge. Now, after he went to Shatawale and gave out the money, it looked like it became a blessing. In 2019, he became the hottest and the biggest supplier of gold in the whole of Ghana. He supplied 1.2 tons of gold. And he made 60 million American dollars out of the 1.2 tons that he supplied. This was in 2019. He also built a refinery here in Ghana. I have never seen it, but it's in the newspapers everywhere that he had a refinery. A young man who had made money. In fact, his wife was more than a slave queen. Everywhere she went, she slayed. The most expensive costume. The shoes were like glass made of gold. Hallelujah. She bought Lamborghinis left, right, and center. She's called Amadia. And the gossip newspapers were all over the place talking about the largesse and the bourgeoisiness of the couple. Hallelujah. My brother, my sister, the Nigerian rich man is most of the time wiser than the Ghanaian. No matter how rich a Nigerian rich man is, you will never see it until you live with them. You enter their skin under, as we say. But for the Ghanaian, the moment they start seeing some notes after seeing coins, they explode. It shows in what they wear, how they talk, how they wash. We saw it with Namwan. Namwan used to throw money on the streets all over the place, and people told him to cool down. Clap! There was a trap that held him, tap like a bearer. Trap not a bearer. It was the same thing with Dr. Sledge. He couldn't hide his blessing. He went around all over the place, my brother, my sister, showing how rich he was. He caught the eyes of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo because he had started spreading money amongst the politicians, sponsoring their political campaigns. Oh my God, this was the man they wanted. And they gave him money. So much money. Close to 60 million American dollars. Specifically, 49 million. Some sources say about 60 million. But officially, we have 49 million. For him to do more gold business and bring home money and profit to the ailing economy of Ghana. We never saw the money again. He blew it into thin air. Now he's wanted by IOCO, Economic and Organized Crime Office. That's IOCO. EOCO, Economic and Organized Crime Office. And the OSP, Office of the Special Prosecutor. They are two different outfits. One is independent, the other is semi-independent. They are both looking for him. Since April, they have stopped him from flying. April this year, now he's in the grips of the OSP. But my brother, my sister, having given you the establishment shot, as we say in movie making, can I go deeper? Many Ghanaians have said that this will come to nothing. Why are they saying this will come to nothing? The man didn't chop alone. When he had his money, the Attorney General, the lawyer of the nation, the man who is supposed to bring us justice, the man who is supposed to prosecute people who have gone against the state, himself had his campaign, political campaign, financed by this same king of fraud called Dr. Sledge. Can Ghana have justice? Or is going to be yet another exercise in futility, a wild goose chase, another exercise in desperation? This is the Attorney General. His name is Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Ayini. He's from Zwarungu. And he says, people from Zwarungu, there's one thing everybody knows about them. They deal with falsehood, headlong, and they iron it out on the streets, not behind doors. He himself came out and made it clear that Dr. Sledge had sponsored, either in part or in full, his political campaign. And today, he's not only an MP, he is also the minister, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, 2 in 1. Would Ghana have justice? Would he look at how much money was given to him? Well, I placed a call around him to try and find out what is going to happen. And this is what I have uncovered. Whatever he gave to this man was a donation. It wasn't a contract. That, oh, I'm paying for your campaign, and when you come into power, this is what you do for me personally. It was a donation. Oh, I see a lot of potential in you. You are the kind of person Ghana needs, and I want to support your campaign. Oh, really? Thank you so much. And he collected the money. How much money did Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Ayini take from Dr. Sledge? You want to know? I want to know too. And I know. A+ is an MP. He was the very first guy to talk to us about how much money Dr. Sledge, the new king of fraud, according to the security forces and investigative bodies, my brother, my sister, paid not only to this man, but so many other people. He's one man who is known amongst musicians. He's one man who is known in the corridors of power. My brother, my sister, this is A+. Dr. Sledge is a man who has power using money. But the thing we don't know, which we are now uncovering, is that a lot of the money was our own money that he took from us, from an outfit known as MIF. Mining, Investment, and Income Fund, I'm told. That's what it means. MIF, M-I-I-F. Mining, Investment, and Income Fund. An act of parliament brought it into being to support mining and have the best to come out of mining in terms of investment and income. And Dr. Sledge became one of the very first to receive such a huge amount of money. My brother, my sister, he was supposed to bring back to Ghana over 90 million American dollars. But those who are prosecuting him, some of them he supported into coming into office. And one of them is Dominic Akuritinga Ayini. Would he overlook the help he had, the humongous help he had from Dr. Sledge, and say, you know what, Ghana first, let's deal with it? Or would he behave the same way he behaved towards Kwabena Dufour? Because he was Kwabena Dufour's lawyer. And when Kwabena Dufour was finally freed, after he took a deal as the Attorney General, many Ghanaians were upset, including me. Will Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Ayini look at Ghana in the eyes and say, I will keep being with you, O Ghana? Or he will say, a good friend must always stand for another good friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Koko Shodomo. And here we speak truth to power. When we return, we'll take your messages and we would also be doing our last story and we'll say bye-bye to you. Hey-ya! Hey, why-yo! Why-yo!
Blackpot. Coco show man.
It's the Blackpot, aka Kuku Shodomo, and here we speak truth to power. Okay? All right, so let's look at your comments. Let's pick your minds. Keep sending them in via YouTube and also via Facebook. Okay? Let's hear from you. Keep them coming. This is the Black Empire Media. Yes, the Black Empire TV. And, of course, the program is called the Blackpot, aka Kuku Shodomo. And here we speak truth to power. All right. Let's see your comments. Let your comments flow so that we can see exactly how you are feeling, how you're doing. And remember to take our numbers from off the screen and do business with us. Oh, yes. Oh, gosh. We are heard all over the world, across the globe. Oh, my God. And around the globe. This is your #1 show online, and we are called the Black Empire TV. We are the headquarters of the truth. My brother, my sister, I'm still waiting for your comment to come so that we can, in fact, look at them, send them. Yao Adobo is the first man we're picking up today. He says, Alexander, it seems you are going bananas. In fact, you need medical attention. Well, it looks like it's in response to somebody. We'll find out who it is. Ken Colley is happy and he says, yo, big up yourself. Skimmer Media says, greetings, Black Rasta, more fire. Johnson Levi says, wow, Black Rasta, I just love your oratory. You are so intelligent and deep. Love, respect. Alusini Bangura says, greetings, Black Rasta, more fire. You inspired me and keep inspiring me every day. And any day I watch you, oh, I get inspired. How you stand and speak the truth. I wish I will meet you in person. Of course, yes. We will meet. Yes, we will. James Mawunyo Yevu says, Wayo Black, I am in class today. Keep the fire blazing. Ganja board, Bekwi board, Ntampi board, Taba board is still making me laugh uncontrollably. Yawadobo says, good evening, my teacher. Sad story. Yahya Salfu says, it says, the flavor in the black pot today is hot, right? Okay. Owusu Champon says, the voice of the patriot, where he speaks truth to power, he doesn't criticize, but if we have to criticize, it has to be on one condition, to build and not to destroy. And that's why we say we are in the service of God and country. Alexander said, you no longer have a credibility because of the support you have given to the fake Igbo guy. We know you took money from him and invited him into your studio and deliberately addressed him. You're royal. You yate. Owusu Champon says, hi, Alexander, take your nonsense away from here. So you see, the people would address you properly. Igbo man, give me money. He's in my country. I should be giving him money. Don't you think so? Anyway, I mean, we wouldn't waste too much time. Alexander, come again, yeah? Wafa Siao says, sad, unfortunate situation. Rest in peace, brother. Ken Colley says, fire, ya, 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 yabu, 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 yabu. Then more comments coming in. We have Stephen Jackson say, "Woyoy, we are live in the Monday class." Yes, okay, so I see that comment. The answer came because of the Alexander. The comment there. Yeah, Adobo. He said, "Alexander, it seems you are going bananas. In fact, you need medical attention." Well, by their fruits they shall be known. People like this, they become very solid members of the family in no time. Mohammed Banjer says, "Anula Mbiale, on behalf of Ashaiman, I would need you to help us extend our profound gratitude to Uptown Cleaners for the good work they are doing for Madagana. Tipaya Pam Wayo signed MC Scorpion." Okay? Sweet Papito TV says, "Amara Barasta Sabele. Speak truth to power. Hey, come here. Wayo. JDSGH says, "Greetings, Blakk. We are live. Wayo. Kwekuchre Ja Fest says, "Give thanks still. Welcome the righteous African teacher, ready to teach patriotism. Africa shall rise forever." Kojo Wanful says, "Good to see you, Blakk, again." Mohammed Banjer is so excited, and he says, "Mbiale, yourself, the Black Empire Media crew, and all our cherished viewers are cordially invited to the annual Nachimba Youth Association Health Walk on the 14th of December inside Ashaiman." December is still far, but December we have a concert. We have a concert in Nima. But in the daytime, yeah, we can come around. Then in the night, we're going to do the concert, right? Okay, so that's it. Okay. Mahami Abubakar says, "Greetings, Black Rasta. It's been days. I trust you're doing great. Keep the fire burning. Conscious Agbemenu Ahosu." Haven't heard from Conscious in a while. Blakk, welcome back. Let the fire blaze. Watching you live from Abekabu La Paz. Let's keep sharing the live stream. And Patawo says, "Greetings, Black Rasta. Salute." Dwabelian Zobil says, "Highlight." Seydou Isaka says, "Greetings from Tokyo." Cyril Ewapi Prat says, "Blakk, are you still in 3FM? Yes, I was on radio today. Come here. Yes, I was on radio today. For real. Okay, so King Ras Abogo says, "Black Rasta, we are watching you live in the Upper East region, Bolga, at a hotel called Amoda. Say, keep the good work going on. More fire." Mubarak MBK says, "The leader should rule and respect." Haruna Jibril says, "This is all because of bad leadership in Africa. That's why all this is happening." Godwin Mauduji Agbemafle says, "More fire." And he's called Godwin Agbemafle from Kleko. All right. And then Pieter Doji says, "This is one of the reasons no African country should negotiate with America on any of their programs towards us." Derek Kuma says, "So sad." Mau Madwabuchi Amechi. This is an Igbo man, straight from Igbo land. Igbo Kweno. He says, "Nice one." Tom Poe says, "Good evening, my brother. Blakk, I hope all is well with you by grace." Yes, I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. Lilian Akosua Bedia Akon says, "Great program. Thanks for this insight." Emmanuel Siame is watching. That's Black Lion, the general. Tom Poe says, "What's the difference between Aka Braza and Namwan?" My brother, okay, you are talking about Akablemeza. The difference is that Akablemeza had nothing. He lied to the people that there was some money sitting somewhere. And he asked people to bring money to invest. When he knew there was nothing, he blew their money and died without paying a dime. Namwan had his gold dealership going on. He was paying people over so many months and years. There was no problem until government came in and stopped the business, and the problem started. Namwan had a lot of money in Dubai. We were told by the deputy attorney general at the time, who went to Dubai and came back with the information. So they are two different people, Tompo. All right? More comments coming in. My brother, my sister. Tauf. Okay, Tough Davies. Rebellion says, "This is the same story like Chukwuede Ize in Ghana. You Black Rasta covering up, criminal Igbos cartel trying to annex Ghana by help of clueless citizens of Ghana who don't have the heart of Ghana at heart. We shall fish people like you out, inshallah, uncultured fake Rastaman. We are waiting for you. You, the cultured ones. This your xenophobia will continue making you stay poorer and poorer and sicker and sicker. Because your common sense is so little. And people like this, they are people who have never traveled. They have never traveled. How do you call your fellow African a stranger? This is what is happening in South Africa. And that guy in South Africa is fighting so much against his own people. When South Africans are saying, send the Zimbabweans away, send the Ghanaians away, Nigerians away, they are coming to eat our food. And he says, listen, I cannot send anybody away. They are my own brothers. The people who are making us poor are not the Igbos. The people who are making us poor in this country, they are not the Igbos. They are not the Yorubas. They are the foreigners who come from China, come from America, come from Lebanon, and they come here, pollute our water bodies, steal from our land, maltreat us, and go away. How do you leave these people and be running after a common Igbo man who doesn't have enough even for himself? How can you be so wicked? These people don't travel. I've had people call me, oh, Blakk Rasta, forget about this Igbo thing and then do your show. You see, the Igbo people are this, they are this. Today, one of your own is in Scotland. He says the land of Scotland is for him. Asante is a fake king and that he is the real king. My brother, let's be wise. You people want Africa to be united. Nkrumah started it, invited all these people from Nigeria and other places to come into Ghana and do business. A man says he wants to build an Igbo village, and all of a sudden they say it's a kingdom, and he doesn't even have one piece of land. He doesn't have it. Oh, that's it. Next. We have more comments coming in. More comments. Okay, so Davis, please. Be smart. Be smarter than Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. It's sheer tribalism, racism, and xenophobia. I don't support that. Tompo says, but maybe this is Nam2. Because from his lifestyle, I can't see the difference between this guy and Nam1. Smart guys. But as for Nam1, I know you will defend him. It's okay, bro. No, defend him how? Defend him how? It's the facts we are bringing out. Let them come out and say that Nam1 stole from this person, from that person, from that person. Then we'll be able to come out. He's been in court. What have they been able to do to him? If it's wrong, jail him. Let us know how wrong he is. When he was doing his business all these years and paying everybody, did we have a problem? Till government came in and used politics to close him down. Then problems started. You see, Tompo, what I want you to understand is this. When Nam1 was doing his business, everything was cool. Paid everybody good. As a young man, he also got swollen-headed and started throwing money around and brought eyes on him. They believed that he had presidential ambitions. So they had to clamp his business down. And the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. At the end of the day, they succeeded in doing it. They caused panic withdrawals. You know what that means? Hey, go for your money, oh. This man is a thief, oh. He will steal your money, oh. And everybody went to Men's Gold to take money. When it happened to Ghana, could Ghana survive? When it happened to Ghana, people were running to take their money from Ghana, money they had invested. Pensioners. Didn't Ken Ofori-Atta run out of the country? You go and give your money to Ghana, they tell you have your money back in 12 years. Are these not worse than Nam1? Did anybody lock them? It's the same thing they did to Nam1. He was doing his business, okay, all of a sudden, go for your money, he's a thief. And everybody went. He paid off, started paying off people, And then the money got finished because he had invested a lot of the money in business, and it's been proven. So where's the defense? Where is the defense? We don't defend the lie. We defend the truth. Let somebody come out with a different story and say that, okay, now one did this, now one did this. Let us have the facts and see what we'll do with that. Okay? All right. So it's the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kuku Shodomo. And here we speak truth to power. We're going to take the last story and we're done. Story number 3. Secrets. These last words of Daddy Lumba on sick bed. Shocking. Hey, Kojo Fusu, a.k.a. Daddy Lumba. Charles Kojo Fusu. Charles Kojo Fusu. Daddy Lumba. When I decided to research a little bit into Daddy Lumba, I was shocked. To be honest with you, I have never really been a big fan of Daddy Lumba. Of course, there are a few songs of his that I will jam to, will love that, because my family loved that. But one thing always came into my mind. I saw him as a bleacher. And I honestly, I'm not friends with bleachers. I see them as people with low self-esteem, jelly kills and all that. They are not things that I really support. But I decided to go a little bit into the life of Daddy Lumba. And I realized that even the name Lumba is Pan-African. I'm told that it means freedom. He sang for the freedom of South Africa in the days when I probably was a little boy. And anytime he sang the song, people came over to him and they just called him Lumba, 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 freedom, freedom, freedom. And he just decided to take over the name Lumba, which means freedom. I have a lot of respect for a man like that. Again, he started off by singing gospel music. It was Nana Champon, another musician who you can see in the background there. That's him there. Who convinced him to put away the gospel because high life music, cultural messages sold more than God and Jesus Christ messages. And he agreed. He even released a whole gospel album. He was known more for his high life songs in terms of the contemporary messages that he sent to us. The so-called worldly messages. The Lumba brothers separated and decided to do their own thing. We are almost stranded in our journey. This was when they came together. Then one became Nane Champon and the other one became Daddy Lumba. And he changed his name later to DL, just the abbreviation. My brother, my sister, he fell sick when he was 45 years old. He had lived in Germany illegally. He had no papers for so many years. Therefore, he couldn't come to Ghana. Wherever he was in Germany, he hid himself from the police, German Kuti. And he mentioned all this in his songs. Anytime he released an album, Nane Champon, who had legal status in Germany, was the one who brought the record home to sell. He became so popular in Ghana, Ghanaians had never even seen him because he was in Germany and didn't have the legal status to return. And when he finally got his status, it wasn't long before he was hit with a certain terminal illness. Daddy Lumba was dying. He was diagnosed at 45 that he should start counting his journey to the grave. That is enough to kill any man. So when he was coming home, He told his wife, Akosua Sewa, Akosua, I'm saying, Mrena soon. I sent my doctor for a candidate. And you cry. Metinaha, me wukwa. Look at them. In their heydays, they struggled together, worked together, loved each other. And Timeko, Mami ko fie. Because do fear na me wa. Wa no man see me. So he decided to come home. They are children. And when he arrived home, he didn't think that he would even live and see 50. The doctors didn't give him beyond 50. But with herbal medicine, prayer and fasting, miracles in churches, we saw him in the church of Bedukobi, Prophet Bedukobi, who had healed him of a certain disease. And he himself said he had been healed. After healing him, he gave him a car as a gift. We all saw that. Daddy Lumba lived to see 60. On his 60th birthday, he told the whole world how happy he was because he never thought that he would live to see 60. Misuma di 60 nubio. Misuma di 60 nubio. Hey, Radema di 60 nubio. We could all hear him say. He was the idol of many. When he was coming home to Ghana, Akosua Sewa could not come with him for reasons we cannot tell. Daddy Lumba was coming home because of his sickness. Maybe Akosua Sewa was remaining there because of her own sickness. After all, she was 2 years older than Daddy Lumba. Today, as it stands, she's 62, knocking on the gates of 63. My brother, my sister. And today, Ghanaians are all over the place chastising this woman. Lawyers are saying that she abandoned Daddy Lumba. But we don't know what brought the two of them together. What bond it was. Why didn't Daddy Lumba divorce this woman when he came back to Ghana? This is what she looks now. Bring back that photo. She looks like this now, my brother, my sister. But go back to the days when Daddy Lumba met her. Look at her. This is not the time to say go away. They have suffered, struggled together, put their lives on the line, and it looks like they want to sideline her because there's another woman in the pipeline. But that's not what we're talking about today, my brother, my sister. This is the other woman. Once Daddy Lumba did not divorce her, we must not divorce them in death. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. When Daddy Lumba was on his deathbed, about to go, knowing very well that anytime soon he will be history, you know what he did? Efia SHÂCKING, I call her mother. She attended school in Tamale. She speaks the Gbani fluently. When I meet her, it's just like a brother and a sister. I love her. In the days when we were doing Presenter's Guide, she was the one who told the organizers, even before me and her met, she had just come from South Africa, told them that, have you listened to this great guy on radio? Go get him to be part of this. And I ended up winning the Presenter's Guide. Even though officially it was not announced who the winner was, because one of us died while the competition was on. But back door, organizers told me that I won the thing. I always give thanks to her. When people criticize her, sometimes I wish I could, but most of the time, I just leave it for other people to do it. Where I need to come in once in a while, I do. She called Daddy Lumba. And then she recorded Daddy Lumba. I'm sure she asked permission to do that. And there was an interesting conversation. Before I play you that tape, there's a Ghanaian musician everybody knows. He's the music man. the maestro, Kojo Antwi. His music is so qualitative that it is more valuable than gold. His voice is so crisp, and he knows music like a little child knows her alphabets. This man here must be celebrated. My brother, my sister, I have a record with Kojo Antwi, Julius Kojo Antwi. My brother, my sister, and that record will be coming out soon. He blessed me with a voice that I will never forget. A verse that will resonate with me forever. He always has concerts on the 24th of every December. And Ghanaians got used to this. Every Ghanaian would go out wherever the train stopped to watch Kojo Antwi. There was one year he said, let me give other Ghanaian artists the opportunity to also grace the stage whilst I take the back stage. That's a very sharp musician. Let me give other people the opportunity. Instead of having Kojo Antwi headline it every time, let me now start making other big artists in Ghana headline. And you know what he did? You know what he did? Selflessly, he went knocking on the door of Daddy Lumba. He knocked on Daddy Lumba's door. Knock, 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 knock. Daddy, 24th night, no? Me pesa wuna obebo this year. Aden. Now they own Bobby. Say Bobby. Know how Daddy Lumba spoke. Said Daddy, year where them pesa wuna obebo. I want you to play. And Daddy Lumba agreed. So that year, clear. Daddy Lumba and Kojo Antwi agreed that he would headline it. Unfortunately, listen to this story. This is an inside story. Daddy Lumba came on stage and then he had technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Microphones going off and on, and out of anger, he said, this is a sabotage. Pure sabotage. Sabotage. And Kojo Antwi was standing at the back there and felt bad. In my heart, I just want us to have a certain variety. As for technical difficulties, I've had technical difficulties on my own show several times. Why is Daddy Lumba shouting that we have brought him here to sabotage him? And he threw away the mic, got angry, and stormed off stage. For Kojo Antwi, it was heartbreaking. From that time, he never brought any artist again to be the headliner. That dream died. The first artist he brought out of respect, this was what happened on stage. Kojo decided not to feature any artist again. Every year, he will be the person to come and do it. Technical difficulties or not. And I watched him in Takrady. In the days when I was doing my national service, he was performing in one of the hotels. I can't remember the name now, but I can find out. And then he had technical difficulties. Shockingly, he kept performing. He kept performing. The microphone was dead. And he kept singing in the dead microphone. I've never seen a professional like this man. He sang in the dead microphone. The singers were also singing. We could hear them, those of us who were close. But because the microphones were dead, those at the back couldn't hear. So the hall went quiet so they could hear the voice of Kojo Antwi. Some of the instruments were playing, but the microphones were dead. If I were the one, I would have probably put down the mic, or I would have just said, wheel the band. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, and wait until the mic. But he sang. Later in life, when I asked him, he said, Blakk, if I don't sing, how would they fix the problem? They have to hear my voice and know whether it is coming in the microphone again or not. He sang, and that day, he changed my life in Takrady. This was somewhere in 2001 or 2002, 23 years back. This is Kojo Antwi I'm talking about. My brother, my sister, he has had his own version of technical difficulties on stage. And interestingly, that day when he was singing, the microphones, after about a minute or two, came back to life before he wheeled the band. The song had ended, and he had decided to go backstage and allow them to fix the technical problem. And when the technical problem was fixed, he came back with a new attire. What a hero! Kojo Entry, Julius. So when Daddy Lumba did this, he decided not to do it again. There was a big problem, and Ghanaians started talking. Oh, this is better than this person is better than that person tried to sabotage this person tried to sabotage this. This is the story that has been with us all these years. The two of them never had a collaboration because of these problems. But on the sick bed of Daddy Lumba, when he was dying, according to him, only one musician visited him with his wife, and they brought him food. And again, he says something that Kojo Entry did, the one and only musician who came to visit him. And that is shocking. If SHḵICKING thankfully gave us this recording. Watch this.
Wow.
So me catch now, so on your meeting for that. Now me catch the latest one, grab your one. When I say me apply for a radio station, no. Me and family. It be wow, me you know. Only the only musician of Baba Kreme, one in a Rocklet. Hey, my brother.
Wow.
If you want to make it, oh yeah, I want to make Musa and I don't know station. No, so there's a technician here or a system of maybe baby and Sana would the crowd propose an upgrade. And yeah, we are no other. Nancy, that be mean Nimeno. I know they have one brand, a man 100 million. I know they, yeah, the money of money in I know somebody another 100 could register. So we know the papers, no brand, I'm to go through and see. It's me, wow, almost if I said it to me, not 13 years. And I'm a part of friend, they say, yeah. I'm from Miss and a day, and I'm wanting to make papers. That's that. And I'm saying, make count on the support. We will hear the third day. No, from Miss Ramagi. Ready.
Wow.
And the Kojo is behind the whole thing. No, no, crowd, your mom and poor fee. So, obviously, I want to know how come and I could join Philip old Auntie. Let me put your Korea Miss Row. I think I could join my
country one more radio so. So that I can't do that I can't do any baby tea.
Oh, sad. It brings tears into my eyes. Did you hear him? Kojo Entry helped him to get his radio station, DL. In fact, he showed him the way. He paid 200,000 Ghana cedis for registration and paperwork. And it took him 13 years to get the radio license for DL radio. And that's it. Home of Legends, 106.9. He said his wife, Rocklin, and Kojo were the only people who came to visit him from the music fraternity. And this was when Daddy Lumba was so sick and was about flying home. They had their issues. Kojo tried as much as possible to bridge the gap, to bridge this gap, bring him on stage, so people would see that, no, we are not enemies, we are okay. But the devil always has a way. Technical hitch. Daddy Lumba flares up, and then it brings a bigger wedge between them. They never were able to collaborate. Till he wanted his license and all that, he helped him. And when he was sick, he went to visit him. Today, that LUMBA is gone. If a SHείμCKING had not recorded this tape, many are those who would have said that, oh, they didn't talk. They were never friends. They were enemies. But this is clear. Kojo did everything possible to make sure that everything was okay. And I send a big flower of kudos to Kojo and to wherever that LUMBA is. Thank you for also allowing yourself to bring this much needed peace. Unfortunately, they never were able to record a collaboration. But they collaborated in the spirit. To that LUMBA, that referred to you, Charles Fosu, the family is still fighting. 2 wives are fighting to have custody of the dead body. He was born in the same year as Lucky Dube. My same month of September. Also born on Monday, like me, Kojo. A great musician. He's gone. Today, we want to say thank you so much to Daddy LUMBA for all he did, musically and otherwise. He had his other side. But today we're talking about him as a great musician. At the same time, to Kojo, say thank you for being a man with a very big heart and very considerate. That's why I always love you. It's the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. All right? This is exclusive. Yeah? All right. So let's take your comments. And then we'll be out of here. Remember to take the numbers off the screen and do business with us. We love you and we appreciate you. And it looks like we've spent so much time. All right. We apologize for the late start of the show. We appreciate you. Please share the broadcast and make sure many more people get hooked up to this. We bring you nothing but patriotism. My name is Blakk Rasta, Ghana's #1, Africa's finest. Hey, I see you again tomorrow, 6 o'clock on the dot till 7 o'clock. Hey, hey yo, wayo. Come on.